Okay, so I'm starting a recording, so I'm recording this session, just so you know, because that way I can post it for anybody who's absent, okay? So in our work area, did everybody write 4 to the 5th times 4 to the negative 4, all to the negative 3rd? And I see some people are writing it right now. Okay, now, in your classroom, if you click into classwork, I posted the exponent rules. But instead of putting the exponent rules on half the page, because this is like the only one where we need it, I just wrote the 2 rules that we're going to need, okay? So I wrote the product rule and I wrote the power rule. We're going to use both of them. Which one do we use first? Well, remember, you always have to do inside the parenthesis first. So if you look inside the parenthesis, we have 4 to the 5th times 4 to the negative 4. So when I go look at my 2 rules, that's got to be this one, right? 4 to the 5th times 4 to the negative 4, because it's x to the n times x to the m. You're multiplying them. Okay, what do I do with my exponents? I add them. So in the work area, we're going to write equals, parenthesis, 4 to the 5 plus negative 4, close parenthesis, to the negative 3. Now remember, for this problem, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to select anything that works, right? Well, what I have written right there isn't one of these, so I don't need to select anything yet. So now I'm going to write equals. So did everyone get that written down? I don't want to go too fast. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
So you got to catch up to me. Oh, you are caught up to me.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Equals. So you have the first here. See? You have this one, but you need this one. There you go. Okay, now add the exponents, 5 plus negative 4. If I have 5 positives and 4 negatives, I have to subtract the numbers because I have both positives and negatives. So 5 minus 4 is 1. So I have 4 to the 1. Now, is that a positive 1 or a negative 1? Well, my bigger number was the 5, and it was positive, so it's a positive 1. Okay? In parentheses to the negative 3. So parenthesis 4 to the 1st, close parenthesis to the negative 3. Okay, now I look again at my options, and none of them match. So I don't have anything to select yet. So now, what do I do now? Well, this is the other property that I wrote down. So if you take a look, do you notice that we've got parentheses? And if you look at the power rule, do you see that it's got parentheses? So what do I do with my exponents? I multiply them, okay? So it equals 4 to the 1 times negative 3, which equals 4 to the, God bless you. Okay, 1 times negative 3, isn't that negative 3? Because 1 times anything is that thing. Okay, now I go again and look at my options. Hey, wow, look, very first one, 4 to the negative 3. So select it. Now, what has been happening is when you guys are doing this in an assignment, you're not showing me all of this. You're just selecting the right one. I got to see the work. Basically, you have to prove to me that you know what the answer is, okay? You can't just put the answer down. You got to show me that you understand it. Okay, now I'm not done, right? So remember that when you have a negative exponent, it means divide by that number that many times. So now, remember, I have to make it a fraction. So I put a 1 under it. And then I have to do the reciprocal. I have to flip it. So it equals 1 over 4 to the 3rd. Now, do you notice that when I do the reciprocal, when I flip it, the exponent's now a positive 3, not a negative 3. That's what happens when you do the reciprocal. Okay? So I look at my things, and wait a minute, that second one right there, that's 1 over 4 to the 3rd. So select it. Okay? So far, so good. Okay, now we're not done still, right? This one's kind of a longer one. So 1 over, okay, 4 to the third, what does that mean? Doesn't that mean 4 times 4 times 4? So 4 times 4 times 4. Okay? So then that's 1 over, okay, 4 times 4. What's 4 times 4? 16. Okay, now, this is one of those where a calculator is not allowed. So 16 times 4, I have to show it. 4 times 6 is 24, carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So 1 over 64. Okay, now I go look at my options, and it's the fourth one. So this is 4 to the negative third. It's 1 over 4 to the third. It's 1 over 64. It's all of them, right? Okay, now the third one down, do you see how it says 4 to the negative 15 times 4 to the 12? So I have to figure out if that one matches or not. So I'm going to switch colors. And in the work area, I'm going to write 4 to the negative 15 times 4 to the 12. So everybody write that down for me. 4 to the negative 15 times 4 to the 12. Okay, now look at my rules at the top of my slide. Doesn't it match this one?
Yeah.
So what do I do with my exponents? I add them. So it equals 4 to the negative 15 plus 12. Okay, negative 15 plus 12. If I have a negative and a positive, I have to subtract. Exactly. So I have 4 to the third. Now, is it 3 or negative 3?
Negative 3.
Exactly, because the 15 is the bigger number and it's got a negative on it, so it's negative. Now, does this match one of the red things that I circled? It does. Doesn't it match this one? So yes, it is correct. Okay, now the fifth one down, it just says 64. Well, I know that doesn't work because I know that it's 1 over 64. So I don't select it and there's nothing. Okay. Okay, number 2 is way less writing. So it says evaluate the expression. Your answer should not contain exponents. So they want the whole answer. So everybody in the work area, you're going to write 1 over 4 to the negative 2. So everybody write that. Now, do you notice we have a negative exponent? And do you notice that it's already a fraction? Okay? So if it's already a fraction, what we do is we just reciprocal, right? We flip it. So it becomes 1 over 4 to the positive 2. Remember that when you do the reciprocal, the exponent is now positive because you took care of the divide by itself that many times. By flipping it, now you're making it positive. Okay, now what does it mean if it's 1/4 to the second power? Do you remember that that means 1/4 times 1/4? Okay, well, 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 4, I didn't flip it. And you didn't stop me. People, when I mess up, you're supposed to tell me. If you flip it, it becomes 4 over 1, doesn't it? I didn't flip, and you know what? Sometimes I do it on purpose, but this time I actually didn't do it on purpose. Okay, so 4 over 1 to the second power. Did you erase and fix? Okay, now 4 over 1, do we need the 1?
No.
We don't. So that's just 4 to the second power, which means 4 times 4, which is 16. So notice on number 2 that there's way less work. Okay? So the ones that have a lot of work, you just got to be patient and put the work in, okay? But there are several in here where there's not a ton of work that you have to do. Several of them where there's not a ton of work. Okay, now I'm just going to stand and I'm going to look to see if everybody's got the work in. Oh, you already moved on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going too slow for him. Okay, Carlos, did you have the work all in?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, everybody submit. And number 3. Okay, now, did everyone get this one right?
Yeah.
Okay, the mouse is there. Okay. Okay, Jalissa, did you submit?
Yeah.
There you go. I gotcha. Okay, we're all good. Number 3. Okay, number 3 is you have a number in scientific notation and you want to put it in standard form. Okay? So the first thing that I want you to notice, do you notice that the exponent is a negative? If the exponent is negative, I have to move the decimal to the left. So let's write the number off to the right. So we're going to write 8.467. And see how I wrote it off to the right? Because I have to move the decimal 8 times, and I have to do it to the left. Okay? Okay, now we're going to make our waves. So we're going to move our decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now when we type an answer that has a decimal, that's a decimal, do you notice that we usually type 0 point, right? Now, after the decimal point, you have to have 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 4, 6, 7. So 0 point, and then 7 more zeros, and then 8, 4, 6, 7, and then submit. So here's the problem that I had when I graded this homework. A whole lot of people didn't put anything in the work area. They just typed in the answer and submitted. I have to see the waves. I have to see you move the decimal. Yeah.
Do we really have to put all those zeros? Yeah.
If you make the waves but don't put the zeros in, I still give you full credit. Because you're going to put the zeros in when you type in the answer.
Oh.
So the waves are what I really need to see.
So if we show our work, we don't have to put the zeros in?
So you know how before I had just the waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you just leave the waves right there and you just type the zeros up here, that's fine,
Oh.
right? As long as I can see the waves, I know that you did it correctly.
Oh.
But if you put your zero, you know, I'm a little OCD, so I have to like put my zeros in. So it's like, so people that have OCD like things to be like in order. So like in my high school classroom, I have a calculator caddy. All of the calculators are facing the same direction because they just have to be. And then Mr. Walsh will come in and he'll like put one upside down, and I'm like, no, I can't. I have to flip it back over. It bugs me. It just, I don't know. It just, I like everything to be like symmetrical, you know? So I'm not super bad. My daughter has all of her movies like alphabetized by category. I'm not quite that bad. So OCD stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. And I don't have it bad. Like some people will lock the door right before they leave their house, and then they'll go back and check it to make sure it's locked like 4 or 5 times. I don't do that. But I do like things to be like in particular orders. Okay. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check and make sure I got everybody. Yep, I do. Okay. Next, number 4. Okay, so number 4, now we're going to go backwards. Now we have a number that is in standard form, and we have to put it in scientific notation. So we're going to write the number in our work area. So 41.39. Okay, now, in this particular number, do you notice there's a decimal point? We can see it. What if there's no decimal point that I can see? If I cannot see the decimal point, remember that it's at the end of the number, okay? But I can see the decimal point, and do you remember that when I put it in scientific notation, I have to make it a number between 1 and 9. So I have to move it 1 time, because now don't I have 4.1?
Yeah.
So in my work area, I'm going to write 4.139 times 10. Now, how many times did I move my decimal?
1.
Once. So 10 to the first.
4.139 times.
And do you notice that for number 3 and number 4, there's not a lot of work, but the work has to be there. If I don't see the work there, then I can't give you credit. So it's super, super important. Okay, let me check. Okay, I don't have everybody yet. Okay, do you remember to get the times you have to do shift 8? So times 10, and then the exponent button, and then the first. Okay, so Julian, did you get it? Okay, you got it. Okay, Sakfan online, did you get it?
Is she the only one online?
No, her and Yaklin. Okay, Lydia. Did you get it? Did you submit? Okay, so do you have 2 right now that are wrong? Got it. Okay. And you wrote down the fixes on the paper? Okay. Okay, and then you, Deanna, you have the one that's wrong, right? And you have the fixes on the paper? Okay. All right, we're all good. Number 5. Number 5. Okay, so this one has a lot of work in the work area. So you got to be patient with me. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write our squareds. So you got to write small because there's a lot of work in the work area for this one. So 1 squared equals 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 squared equals 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 squared equals 3 times 3 equals 9. 4 squared equals 4 times 4 equals 16. 5 squared equals 5 times 5 equals 25. Just write. I know it's a lot. This is the longest one. 6 squared equals 6 times 6 equals 36. 7 squared equals 7 times 7 equals 49. 1 to the 3rd power equals 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 to the 3rd power equals 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 3 to the 3rd power equals 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. 4 to the 3rd power equals 4 times 4 times 4. And we just did that one a minute ago. 4 times 4 was 16. 16 times 4 was 64. Okay, so write all of that in the work area. And I know, I'm so sorry. It just is long. It is. It just is. Is it? Yes. Oh, look at you. You're fast. Okay. You don't want to just use your finger?
It's harder.
Okay, I have more styluses on order. They took forever this time. They're not going to be here till tomorrow. So I'll have them on Thursday. Okay, same with you. You might want to use your finger. I know. I get better at it though. The more I write with my finger, the better at it I get.
My arm hurts for being like this.
Say that again.
No, my arm hurts for just being like this.
Your arm hurts.
Yeah, because I can't touch the keyboard because then my computer goes to somewhere through website.
Oh, yes. So you have to hold your arm up.
Yep, and it hurts.
Yeah, I totally see that. Okay. Now, the rest of it isn't as much. Okay, so we're going to go to the first problem, and the first problem is x squared equals 49. So x squared equals 49. Okay, we want to find out what x equals. Okay? How do we undo a squared? Does anybody remember?
Put the one under?
How do you undo the squared? Yes, the square root. Good job. Square root, square root. So everybody put your square root around both. Now, the square root of a squared, remember they cancel each other out, and it's just x. Now, here is the thing that you might not remember. When you do a square root, there's two answers. So I'm going to look all down here, and I'm looking for 49. And 49 is the last one right there. What number to the second power equals 49? 7, right? Okay, hold on a second. I think my 9 does not look like a 9. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to make it look like a 9. 9. Okay. Do you remember 7 times 7 is 49, but so is -7 times -7. So in the answer box, you're going to type 7, -7. Okay, the next one is x cubed equals 64. So it's a cubed. Okay, x cubed equals 64. Okay, to undo a squared, we take the square root. So to undo a cubed, we take the cube root. So make the root box, but put a 3 in the corner. Okay? So make the root box and put a 3 in the corner. So that's not a square root now, it's a cube root. If you cube root a cubed, they cancel each other out, and you have x. And then I want to know what number times itself 3 times. What number to the third power equals 64? So I look right here and I find 64. Does everyone see it's the last one?
Yeah.
So what number to the third power equals 64? 4. Now, when it's a cubed, that's the only answer. So you type 4. So why is it that the square root of 49 was 7 and -7, but the cube root of 64 is just 4? So -7 times -7 is positive 49, because a negative times a negative is a positive. It doesn't work if you cube it, because -4 times -4 is positive 16. And then positive 16 times negative 4 is negative 64. So that's why the cubes don't work. It does not work. Okay, now the next one we have, yeah?
Can I use the restroom?
Yes. Okay, it's 1209 when you go to sign out. Okay, the next one is x squared equals 11. Okay, so to undo a squared, we do the square root, right? So square root, square root. When you square root the x squared, it cancels and it's just x. And because it's a square root, it's going to be square root 11 and negative square root 11. Now, I want you to stop right there and go, wait a second. Like, wait a second, why does it have a square root around it? Well, if you look right here, do you notice that 11 is in between 9 and 16? So it doesn't come out even. So that's why it stays a square root. So then when you go to your answers, you're going to type square root 11, comma, negative square root 11. Okay, now, hold on. Can I get off of my work page? Because I want to show everybody, I want to remind everybody how to do the square root and the negative square root. Yeah. I'll go back to the work in a minute. Okay, so you're going to do the square root button and then 11. And then you have to hit the right arrow button to get away from that, and then comma, and then negative, and then square root again, and then 11. Okay? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, now we have the last one, and the last one is x cubed equals 66. X to the third equals 66. How do you undo a cubed? We do the cube root. So do the root sign, but put the little 3 in the middle. And I mean in the corner, not in the middle, in the corner. The cube root of x cubed, they cancel each other out, and it's x. Okay, now, I look down here, and I'm looking for 66. Do you notice that the last one that I have is 64? So 66 isn't showing up. Okay, the next one, wouldn't it be 5 to the third? Okay, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is way bigger than 66. So this is another one that doesn't come out even. So it is the cube root of 66. Okay? Now, when I type it into my calculator, and I'll come back to this page in a second. Okay, when you click into your calculator, you type the one with the N in the corner. Okay? Does everyone see the one with the N in the corner right here? Okay, and then you're going to type your 3 in the corner, and then the 66. And then I'll put in the 7, comma, negative 7, and then I'll put in the 4. And then you submit. Okay, now let me go back to the work. Okay, now, is there anybody having trouble finding the cube, doing the cube root?
Yeah, me.
Who said me? You did. Okay, so the one with the N in the corner. Oh, you already got it. Now type your 3. Now click over inside and type your 66. No, inside. There you go. You got it.
Oh, I thought it was 66. After I got it all.
She's got it. Okay, let me see if we got everybody. Okay, Jalissa, are you close?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Sakfan online, are you close? Okay, I just got you, Eduardo.
Just gonna go to the bathroom.
Someone's in the bathroom. You gotta wait till they get back. Okay, hey, Jesus, are you almost there?
Yeah.
Miss Marnie, can you help me put in the answers?
Say that again.
Can you help me, like, I don't know how to put in the answers.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so 7, comma, -7. And then in the next one, just 4. Okay, and then in the next one, square root, that one. And then 11. And you have to hit the right arrow. And then, did you hit the right arrow? There you go. Now negative, square root, 11. Do you have a space in front of there?
No.
Okay, put your negative back in. And do you have a comma after the, you have to have a comma after the first one. Comma. There you go. Okay, now this one, the cube root is the one with the n. Okay, and then you type your 3. And then inside, you got to put your 66.
That's it?
That's it. You should be good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I go to the bathroom after Carlos comes back?
Okay, yeah. So Carlos is next and then you. Yeah.
She did if I did it right.
Oh, can I check? Yeah. I was like, I have to like process, especially when I'm trying to listen with the masks on. Okay, 7 comma -7, 4, square root 11 comma negative square root 11. Okay, and then this one, click that. No, the other one. This one. Okay, now you need that one, the one with the n in the corner.
I get it right down there.
Okay, and then type your 3. Okay, and then put your cursor on the inside. There you go, 66. Okay, now submit. All right. We're all good? Ready to go on? Okay. Number 6. Number 6 has a lot less work. Okay? So in the work area, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to write 1 squared equals 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 squared equals 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 squared equals 3 times 3 equals 9. That's all you have to write. That's it. Okay, it is 12:16.
Time to go?
And Carlos, it's your turn.
Oh, I thought it was time to go.
No.
Oh, come on.
And when you sign out, it's 12:16. Okay, well, be fast, Carlos. Just be fast. Okay, now, in the work area, can you please write x squared equals 7? Now, we want to solve this, right? So how do I undo the squared? Come on, everybody. How do I undo a squared? Square root. Square root, square root. Okay. Square root of x squared, remember, they cancel each other out and it's x. Okay, now I go over here and I'm looking for 7. Do you notice that 7 is in between 4 and 9? So this one doesn't come out even. So if it doesn't come out even, it's going to be square root 7 and negative square root 7. Remember that a square root has 2 answers. Cube root only has 1, but a square root has 2. So I go select square root 7 and negative square root 7. Okay, now, one of my options is 3.5. Isn't that bigger than 3? So isn't 3.5 times 3.5 going to be bigger than 9? Does that make sense? Because 3.5 is bigger than 3. So it can't be that or that. Okay, and it's definitely not 49 or negative 49 because we said it didn't come out even. That's it. Submit. Okay, let me check who's submitted. Okay, wait, where's my mouse? There it is. There it is. Okay.
Can we submit now or no?
Yeah, submit. I'm looking to make sure everybody has submitted before I move on. Okay, so Lydia, in a minute, I'll put up number 5 that we were on before. Okay, Yaklin and Sakfan online. Okay, Jesus and Udiana. And Emily. Did you submit?
Yeah, I just have one wrong, remember?
Oh, I forgot. Sorry. My bad. Okay, Jesus, are you almost done?
I'm waiting for my charger.
Oh. Did your computer go off? Okay, I'll go ahead and move on and then you can submit later. Okay, Udiana, what about you? Or do you have one wrong? Okay, and I gave you paper? Okay. Sorry, I'm losing track of who has what. Okay, number 7. Okay, there's 2 more. Okay, so there's a reason why I had you guys draw the triangle in the notes that we did the other day. Do you remember that when you're doing Pythagorean theorem that the C has to be the longest side? Okay, so that's why I asked everybody to draw the triangle the other day, is because if you draw the triangle, you can label your 3 sides. So we have the X, and we have 33, and we have 56, right? Okay, now remember Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, everybody's writing that down. Draw the triangle, write it down. The only rule is that the C has to be the longest side. So if you take a look at our triangle, isn't the X on the longest side? So we're going to put a C where the X is. Now, the A and the B can be either of the others. It doesn't matter. The A and the B can be the other two. It doesn't matter what order. So I'm just going to put the A here and the B here. Okay, now I want to put the numbers in. So my A is 33. So I'm going to put, okay, who was next? It is 1222. So we have 33 squared plus, okay, the B is 56. 56 squared equals C squared. Okay? 33 squared plus 56 squared equals C squared. Now, on the Pythagorean theorem questions, you guys are allowed to have a calculator. Okay? So we're going to go to our calculator and we're going to square them. Okay. So 33 squared, this is number 7, is 1089. Okay, 1089 plus, okay, now I need 56 squared. 56 squared, 3136. 3136 equals C squared. Anthony, good morning.
I let you sleep.
Okay, we are on exponent review number 1. Exponent review number 1. Okay, now I have to add those. 1089 plus 3136. Okay, 1089 plus 3136 is 4225. So 4225 equals c squared. Okay, everybody in the room, how do I undo a squared?
Square root.
Square root. Square root of c squared is c. Okay, the square root of 4225, that's where I need a calculator. So square root 4225, 65. So then I just type 65 into the answer bar. So do you notice that this one doesn't have that much work, right? Not like the other ones that we did. So there's only one problem in the whole thing that has a lot of work. The rest of them don't have that much. And like the scientific notation ones hardly have any. But you do have to have the work that I need to see. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Yeah.
What's under 33?
Right here?
No,
That's an A.
Wait, what was the answer for 6?
Okay, wait, you got to get the work. I'll put it back up in a minute, okay? Okay, Elias, are you almost done? Oh, never mind. I think I got you. There, I got you. Okay, is there anybody that needs me to wait? Okay, tell me when. Okay, are we ready yet? Okay. That was loud. We're good? Okay. All right, last one. Number 8. A 26-foot ladder is leaning on a tree. The bottom of the ladder is on the ground at a distance of 10 feet from the base of the tree. The base of the tree and the ground form a right angle as shown. Okay, so everybody draw the triangle in your work area. Okay, we have the 26 here, and we have the question mark here, and we have the 10 here. Okay, now, we're going to write a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Which of the three sides is the longest? The 26, the question mark, or the 10? The 26, that has to be the c. Okay, now the question mark and the 10 are the a and the b. It doesn't matter which is which. I'll just make the question mark the a and the 10 the b. So the question mark is a, so I'm going to leave it a squared plus. Okay, the b is 10, so I'm going to put in 10 squared equals, and the c is 26, so I'm going to put in 26. Okay? Okay, now I have a squared plus, okay, 10 squared means 10 times 10. What's 10 times 10? 100. Okay, now 26 squared, that, I don't know 26 times 26, right? So I'm going to go to my calculator. 26 squared, I get 676.
That was easy.
676. Now, this one is different than the last one because on the last one, we were looking for the C. But on this one, we're looking for the A. So if you look at your A, do you notice that your A is being squared and then added by 100?
Yep.
Okay, we have to undo the addition. How do we undo addition?
Subtraction.
So we have to minus 100 minus 100. Can everybody type that in or write that in? Okay, what's 676 minus 100?
576.
So 576 equals a squared, because 100 minus 100 is 0, right? So I just crossed it out. So now I have a squared equals 576. How do I undo the squared?
Square root.
Square root. Now I need my calculator, right? Square root of a squared is a. And then I got to have my calculator. So I go back to my calculator. And I do the square root of 576.
Sweet. Oh. I'm just kidding, miss. I was just kidding.
Okay, I'm like, that is not what my calculator said. 24.
Good morning. It's time for our Try Hard testing raffle. We had everybody testing in English today. Thank you very much to all kids and all staff and all teachers. Those that worked really hard today and are getting 5 Tiger tickets are Mauricio Zamudio, Xavier Mata, and Luis Alcazar. Congratulations. You can come to the office to get your Tiger tickets. 10 Tiger tickets go to Eve Shaw, Yahir Garcia, and Abril Negrete. 20 Tiger tickets go to Massimo Boone. Starbucks gift cards, Nicholas Sherman and Kristen Zappelli. Target gift card, $10, Aiden Borges. Taco Bell gift card, Braden Ludwig. Burger King gift card, Christian Reyes. Subway gift card, Christian Gale. Tiger keychain goodie bag, Daniela Zavala. And a Spirit Cup goes to Awani Whitmore. Good job, and come on up to get your prizes. Thank you.
Can you go back to question 7? I can
Okay, give me just one moment. Okay, now, you guys, the work that is modeled on these problems, that's how I expect to see the work on Thursday on the test. Okay? So test is Thursday. I made a video. I'm going to turn the video off now.